Talk Real Estate with Sharon McNamara, sponsored by Boston Connect Real Estate Services.
Hi, I'm your host, Sharon McNamara, and you are listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable. Let me share a little bit about my background before we get started. I am the broker-owner of Boston Connect Real Estate, a boutique firm that is home to over 30 real estate sales and marketing agents who service home buyers and home sellers throughout Boston, the South Shore, the South Coast, and Cape Cod. Our firm takes pride in assisting our clients in the next chapter of their lives by taking a holistic approach to their real estate endeavors. We believe that every move should be a moving experience. Every week, my co-host Melissa Wallace and I will provide you with my team's unique marketing approach to selling homes and share with you our expertise in navigating the home buying process. We value the experience of our agents at Boston Connect Real Estate so much that not only will you hear my perspective on real estate topics, occasionally you will hear the expert thoughts and opinions of our experienced agents at Boston Connect Real Estate. Be a part of our roundtable. If you have any questions during the show, please call 781-837-4900. We love to talk real estate. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and wherever you like to listen to podcasts at Talk Real Estate Roundtable. If you would like a one-on-one consultation with me and my team to discuss your real estate needs, you can connect with me at bostonconnect.com or 781-826-8000. Now, sit back, relax, take good notes, and let's talk real estate. And good morning to all my South Shore real estate neighbors. This is Sharon McNamara. I don't even know how to start my own show anymore. It's been so long. So good morning to everybody. And yes, I've been out a little bit enjoying my summer. It's been great. Thank you.
Sharon's back in the house. Yes, yes.
And I'm only back because the seas are 7 to 10 feet high.
Well, better to be safe. Yes.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I'm excited to be back. And, of course, I have Melissa Wallace with me. She is my sidekick. She's just getting us all ready on Instagram and Facebook and all those great places. So if you want to watch us live there, you can watch us live there as well. But, of course, WATD is where you should be listening to us every single Saturday at 8 a.m. because I have the best producer on the planet, and that is Tim. Good morning.
Good morning. Nice to have you in house. I'm great. I've
missed you so.
I know I missed you too, but Melissa's been holding down the fort just fine.
Yeah, she's been doing great, and I've been listening. You know, she's had a lot of, one of the nice things is obviously Melissa's very good at this, and then we have agents who fill in for me all the time, so she has a little sidekick with her, and the agents have been doing good, and I've been watching, so I've been, listening if I'm in the car.
Been keeping track.
I've been keeping track. Yeah,
okay.
I called in one day. I mean, some of the shows make me laugh out loud.
Yes.
So, and then I just feel the need to. Oh yeah, let me pipe in.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, how's your summer, Tim? Let's just pretend we're not even on the radio. Let's catch up.
It's been great. I told the ladies a couple of weeks ago we went on vacation up to New Hampshire 2-3 weeks ago, and Joel surprised me with a concert first.
Oh.
He's made up this big story to get me to Memorial Hall. We saw Postmodern Jukebox. They are phenomenal.
Awesome.
Check them out.
That was a nice surprise.
Oh, it was great.
Oh, what a sweetie.
Yeah, check them out on YouTube. They take the songs you know and love and put them in a time machine, if you will.
Okay.
Like for instance, the song Timber by Kesha, they make it 60s doo-wop.
Oh,
and,
okay.
And everything, you see it as it happens live. There's nothing... no pre-recorded tracks. They even had a tap dancer. Oh, it's a great show.
I love, what, I saw Riverdance last year.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
I really, really enjoyed it. I really love good tap dancing. I think it's too late for me at 57.
No, I don't think it's ever too late to start tap dancing.
I know. Even if I just do it in my own house.
Yeah.
Melissa, I'm going to get a pair of tap shoes and wear them around the office.
Oh, great.
Are you going to get a pair for Melissa, too?
Yeah, me.
Oh, there you
It's
go.
going to be great on the second floor.
I'm going to say, Melissa, let's go. We're going to go tap dance and we'll go around our building. I promise not to do it during the radio show, though.
Shuffle, ball change. Shuffle, ball change.
Tapping twins from Talk Real Estate.
Yeah. Well, Tracy could teach us. Tracy was a dancer.
Oh yeah, she could teach us. I mean, I used to do tap when I was younger, but I don't know if these bones could do it. These bones could do it at this age.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, it's feeling a little bit like fall out there, and I am not liking that at all.
Yeah, I think it's back to being warm next week, right?
It?
I haven't heard the news, but I'm assuming.
It's pretty good, pretty warm. Upper 70s, low 80s. It's good.
Yeah. Well, next week I have a nice family wedding to go to. So one of the McNamara nieces are getting married. Yeah. So Molly and Doug are going to get married. It will be Mr. and Mrs. McKenna. And I'm so happy for them. And may have heard me. I know Melissa knows the story. I don't know, Tim, if you've heard me. They actually met at my daughter's wedding, Casey's wedding in Greece.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So Doug is a friend of my daughter's husband, Dustin, who's been on the show with us in the past. And and then Casey, during her wedding, of all things, she thought about introducing her beautiful single cousin to Dustin's handsome friend.
I thought you could just say Dustin's friend.
No, he's handsome. He's such a good kid. I'm so happy for them. So, yeah, it's going to be nice. We have family coming in from everywhere, so it'll be great. So
I know. What a story.
Yeah, it is. And
one of my favorite stories, and I've never met them.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to make that happen. So
I'm sure it's going to be a beautiful weekend next weekend.
Yeah.
Nice long weekend. Yeah, it's going to
enjoy
a nice down in Newport.
Yeah,
right?
and Mackenzie's flying in from Dallas with her boyfriend Ethan. So that's going to be nice. So anyways, so everybody's caught up on my life, okay, to all our WATV listeners and all of our viewers. Yeah, everybody's all caught up now.
Copious notes.
Copious notes. I love that phrase, I love it. So we're all caught up on me, and I've been paying attention to you every week. So you had Kristen on with you last week. You guys had a great show. The week before that, you had Tracy on.
Yeah. 2 weeks in a row. Yeah. Double header.
Yeah. Well, the thing with Tracy, when you have shows with Tracy, it actually makes me laugh because I'm going to tell a secret. You guys don't prepare at all.
Well, we used to not at all. And then now the past couple times, like maybe like this year so far, I've done an agenda, but we don't stick to it, but we're okay. Here's the thing. You and I could wing it, but her and I, she can do a lot of the talking, and I'm okay with that. So I'm like, we could definitely wing it. So I'm never nervous to do a show. Not that I'm nervous to do a show with anybody really, but she just always keeps the conversation going. So it's like, it just sort of naturally goes with her. Now when I do
the black toilet seat,
yes,
with Mark.
The black toilet seat. So and I think he has one more, so she could use
break
it.
That. No, she has to get rid of that.
She's got to get rid of the bathroom.
Advice. That's the day I ring in. So, and we also have other exciting news in the office. We have 2 new agents joined. One has already, she joined us. One was with me yesterday. She just got her license. Yeah. So she's just waiting for that. Yeah. Her license number to come in.
Yeah, we're going to be introducing them to the world next week. Just getting a couple things back from them. But yeah, they're on board.
Yeah,
they're here. So hopefully everybody follows us on social media.
Yeah, and you'll have to see who they are. One is a seasoned agent coming from another company, and someone is a new agent. And I've known her husband for several years, actually. And now I said, finally, you'll be able to come on the radio show and you'll be able to bring your husband. So her husband is our Mason that we always refer. So, so exciting stuff. We can talk more about that next week.
Yeah. Is she following you?
She watches the show.
No, I mean like following you for real estate.
Oh, yeah, she was with me yesterday for the majority of the day. Yeah, she did an electrical walkthrough with me, and then I had to walk through a couple other units while I was down there. She actually visited Faith and Sue Bollinger last weekend, and today, I don't know if she's going to go check out with Cochise with Mary, or I know she might be going tomorrow when Kristen's there. Yeah. So, yeah,
that's awesome.
Great. Yeah, it's nice to follow and, shadow and learn. And that's why I told her, I said, go to these open houses because, our agents are out there. You're going to learn from the best.
Learn by fire.
Learn from the best. So, So what's our topic today? I love that, our topic is generally always stemmed from something that happened during our week. So why don't you set the stage?
I thought you were going to say, I love when I come in and there's an agenda and it could be a little bit of a surprise for you.
I like the element of surprise.
Yeah, element of surprise. So we're calling it the right representation. So not only is representation is choosing the right agent for you and why that matters, but also what is the agent representing? So we're going to be talking about, when you're on these third-party sites and you're clicking away and you get a phone call from somebody, does that agent really represent the property that you are interested in? Because 9 times out of 10, they do not.
Yeah, and that's why we've been having an issue. So this is one of the things that's been coming up. And, you know, I don't know that I want to explain to everybody what real estate is. And this, you know, us talking about this is not, my purpose for this is not, oh, you should only call the listing agent so the listing agent can sell you the house, okay? Ever since this NAR settlement, which I did 3 shows on, so if you missed those, you can check them out on the podcast. I know that WATD on their main page has our podcast as well, so you can find our podcast everywhere. We did, 3 or 4 shows on the NAR settlement and what that actually meant. And for us, it sort of changed a bit on how we were doing things. So we used to do, you know, there's representation. So the legal aspect of it is there's a seller's agent, represents the seller. Buyer's agent represents the buyer. Then there's dual agent, right? Well, there's a facilitator, which does nothing. And then there's now it's a representative, right? And then we have dual agency. Now there's designated agency and non-designated agency. Our firm is a designated agency firm, okay? The agent that you're working with is the only person that represents you. In other firms, it may be, oh, you sign a contract with my firm. Everybody in this office represents you. Right? So we're not that. We are one-on-one, okay? Now, dual agency is when you represent both parties. And in the past, I felt like it was a lot easier for us to do dual agency. For me and Mary especially, any team.
Yeah, there's 2 of you.
There's 2 of us, right? So if I'm working with the seller and then, somebody comes unrepresented, we can represent them as the seller's agent, and we're not representing them. If they want to put an offer in with us on our listing, we say, we represent the seller. We're happy to write up the offer. But anything that person says that's personal, confidential, or financial has to be disclosed to the seller. My fiduciary responsibility is to the seller. I'm a seller representative. If I do dual agency, now I'm representing the buyer and the seller. So I can no longer
How do you draw the line?
Yeah. So now it seems a little more difficult. Not that it seems, where we found the difficulty was in new construction. Because we are the ones that know everything about the new construction, right? So there are things that, you know what I mean? Like, what if I forget to say one little thing that might have been important to the buyer? That's why in new construction, we definitely don't do it. But if we don't represent the buyer, that buyer is coming to us unrepresented. We now have a form that says you are an unrepresented buyer. Right? Or I can
FYI.
FYI, you're unrepresented. And we think it's really, really important to be represented. Now, if I'm already working with a buyer and I have that fiduciary responsibility, and then I get a listing and I now have a fiduciary responsibility, that's just something that has to be a conversation. And this is where I think communication is so key. Having that conversation with your seller, like, I do have somebody that is potentially interested in this, just so you know. It would be dual agency. So it can still be done in the state of Massachusetts. It just gets a little more complicated. The thing is, when I'm talking about these third-party sites and clicking, people are click crazy. Stop it. Stop clicking every stinking button you see. It goes to the same place.
I have a whole segment on clicking.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay, good. I haven't even gone through your whole, we have like 5 pages here, so.
And because ultimately they're selling your lead. Like when you're clicking,
when you're clicking, you're a lead.
I was just going to say that.
Oh, you were?
You took it out of my mouth.
I don't even have to be here.
No, please stay. I have a whole segment, the hidden risk of lead selling real estate websites, because they're there. And just so you know, it's the majority of these sites that you surf for homes. So unless you are working directly with an agent and they have set you up on whichever MLS that they use, which is going to feed all that information to these third-party sites, but you're not necessarily going to get their contact information from those third-party sites, because there's probably an agent or an agency that spends a lot of money every month.
$10,000 a month.
That spend a lot of money every month to get your information. So when you're clicking and asking for a tour and asking for more
clickbait.
Yeah.
Clickbait. You're now a fish.
Yeah.
In a big sea. Who wants to be like that? That does not feel like I'm being represented.
Yeah. I'm not going to say the websites because what if we get in trouble?
Okay.
Well, okay. Well, I mean, could we?
I'm sure we could.
Well, so I'm going to say...
I mean, if it's inflammatory, yes, but I'm just saying, I mean...
Websites like these third-party sites that you surf in the middle of the night and others, they generate revenue, and not by helping buyers, but by selling their inquiries. So when you inquire on these sites, your information is being sold to the highest bidder. So the person or company that has paid the most amount of money in that area to get leads from these third-party sites, so they're not even representing the seller.
They don't even know anything about the house.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give an example, and I apologize if I'm all over the place, but that's how I roll. So I was in Dallas a couple weeks ago, and I was visiting Mackenzie and taking care of Tallulah. And I got... so I'm just going to say some of the names because this is how it worked. Zillow and Showing Time. So Showing Time is sort of a back end, program that we use and love, by the way. Zillow bought Showing Time. Okay. So now they're able to connect their two platforms. Okay. So there I was in Dallas, and I got, anytime somebody, if an agent wants to set up an appointment on one of my listings, they would be in MLS. They can click a button that says Showing Time. They can set up their own appointment. They can see when it's available, when it's not available. We can block off open houses. We can block off, hey, no showings until after, 10 o'clock when the kids are off to school or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have a lot of things we can do. I love the program. And it gives great reports and all that. Now they're connected. So, but when an agent does it the way we're familiar with, they'll go in, and then I get a text that says, Melissa Wallace wants to show your property at, 123 Main Street. And then I can see your phone number. I can see when they want to see it. And I can set it up where that goes directly to my seller as well. So my seller can do Y for yes, accept it. Or N, it doesn't work for me, which I never recommend. Or like one of my listings right now on 599 Washington Street, which is an adorable condo. I have that one come directly just to me, not to the seller. I want to call my seller directly and let him know. So I can set it up. Every person is different on how they want to do it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have such a frog in my throat. So when that happens, now I have the seller's phone. I have the buyer's agent phone number, which I think is really important. This is what I do as a listing agent. I call the buyer's agent and I say, hey, just want to touch base with you. I saw that you schedule an appointment. You want to schedule an appointment to see, 599 Washington Street. I'd love to tell you a couple things about the property. So I do this all the time. Okay. So that's me setting the stage for what happened when I was in Dallas. So I get a showing request. It looks like the text message from Showing Time. It's from Showing Time. And it says the agent's name wants to show your property. By the way, 599 Washington Street. And I was like, great. I know the agent. Call him. I'm like, hey, just want to let you know a couple things. We're actually taking a price reduction on that house this afternoon. So your client will be the first one to know about that for your showing tomorrow. And I want to tell you a couple other things about the house. Because you can't write everything in MLS, right? This is one of the important reasons why going to a listing agent makes a lot of sense. Or have a very good buyer's agent.
Yeah.
This is why you should be sitting and having meetings. We'll get into that, right?
Yeah.
Like how to choose the right one. So I leave a message for this agent. I don't hear anything back. All right, well, I'm not going to call my client and say, hey, we have a showing for tomorrow until this agent calls me back.
Yeah.
Because I need to tell you a couple things about the house. You're not getting in until I talk to you. So never heard from the person. So the appointment was never set up. The next day, I was meeting a friend of mine out in Dallas. She's a real estate agent out there. And I get a phone call from somebody in that same company. And I was like, oh, same time, requesting the same time. And, actually, I got another showing time request.
Yeah.
Right? from this other agent from the same company. And somehow or another, it was redirected. I don't even know how all that works, the original one.
Yeah.
So then, am I all over the place? A little bit? Okay.
I'm following
You're
you.
following me. Okay. So I call that agent and I was like, hey, just want to touch base with you. Is this the same person? You know what I mean? Like that had the other agent wasn't able to show, like it got redirected to you. But she goes, yes, that person is in Ireland. Great. I think that's great. You're on vacation, which only proves to me that the agent isn't the one that set up the appointment.
Yeah.
Okay. The problem is in the background, what people are not seeing is that the person who went on to the third party site, which was Zillow, because this is how it works.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying how it works. I'm not defaming them. I think they're great. My daughter Mackenzie is using Zillow to find her property down in Dallas. Okay. It has a great interface. In fact, I wish that Zillow would become MLS of the country, that we had one MLS and it was ran through them. They do a great job. So this isn't defaming them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That person didn't know who the buyer was. I wonder what's happening there. So that the agent that I'm now talking to told me that it was a Zillow lead and that she had never met this person. The problem that's happening is a lot of times those leads are not like the consumer goes on to Zillow and it says book an appointment now. Mm-hmm. When they push book an appointment now, they can choose the time. So they can say tomorrow, 10 a.m., which is what this case was. And then they get a confirmation that the appointment is all set. The consumer does.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. But it goes now that I don't even know what it is. The algorithm goes into place. But like the agent who is assigned to this one, because they are buying leads, that agent, the other agent was in Ireland. He only knew about it because I called and left him a message.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So this person would have shown up at 10 o'clock without the buyer's agent there because there was no way to know that that appointment really wasn't scheduled.
I know. It's confusing for the consumer.
Yes. It's very, very, very confusing. Don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I said that. I think, I mean, I would call Zillow and just be like, you can't confirm an appointment with somebody when they don't have a confirmed appointment. Because, I'd be curious to know, my curiosity runs deep. I would be curious to know how many people have just shown up to properties since this has started. So, is that you? Yeah,
I'm sorry.
my headphones are very loud. How this has started. Since this has started, I would be curious to know how many people have just shown up to properties, and then I'd call the cops if somebody showed up to my house and didn't have an appointment. I'd be like, no.
And this is what the problem is, right? So the problem is that people are showing up.
Yeah.
The buyer's agent isn't showing up, or I feel bad for the buyer's agents. The buyer's agents are showing up and the buyer really isn't. And the reason why the buyer isn't, so what's happening now is if we're going to show a property, you have to have a piece of paper signed, you know what I mean? Because if you're a realtor, right? So it's showing, what do they even call it? It's supposed to be an exclusive buyer agency agreement, but they'll have now they have, because we tested this and I got one. I talked to the agent and I told him the truth. I was like, listen, I knew the agent. I was like, I'm just testing this because I'm trying to figure out how this is working and why people are not showing up. But you get an automatic, I got text messages, emails, phone calls, everything.
Yeah.
And they send a showing, a showing form. Yeah. So it's I'm representing you for this one house.
Yeah.
When we go to look at it, if you decide to buy it, you're buying it here with me.
And that causes some sort of trouble because what if, they see a property, they don't initially like it, they go off and they look at other properties with other agents or maybe the same agent, not the agent that showed them the first property, but then, a month goes by, the property's been sitting on the market, they go back with somebody else and they end up buying it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
That's what I mean.
Now you have a procuring cause issue.
And the thing is it was for that one property. So in all reality, they would have to go back. I mean, there would have to be a lawsuit, and I don't know how many people would take the time to do that. But
some people have a lot of time on their hands.
Exactly.
We know this.
Exactly. And sometimes just, the piece of paper that says I'm going to sue you is enough for somebody. But now what's it doing to my listing?
Yeah.
Now you're pushing people away from my listing because you're forcing them to sign paperwork that they don't want to sign.
Yeah.
They're like, or like just even the person who maybe doesn't. Okay, there's a couple things. One, you have a buyer's agent. Your buyer's agent is in Ireland. I'm just going to use that as an example. This is not the truth. I'm just going to say, this happens. Oh, me. I was in Martha's Vineyard last weekend. All right, I'm not around. My buyer client, which I have an exclusive buyer agency agreement with, sees a house on one of these platforms and says, I don't really want to bother Sharon while she's away for the weekend, so I'm just going to push this button and I'll just go see it and I'll let her know if I like it.
Yeah.
Then they get this paperwork that says, hello, unrepresented buyer. You are now entering into an agreement with me to show you this house. And if you decide to buy it, you will be buying it with me. And then the buyer inserts, and not with Sharon, because Sharon is on vacation or Sharon is away. And I think that's where it's stopping. And I think that the buyer at that point is saying, oh, I don't want to do that to Sharon. She's been showing me houses.
Yeah.
Why don't I just call Sharon and see if one of, she has somebody that can show me something. Or maybe there's another day we can see it when Sharon comes back. Whatever. And I think that's why we're having appointments scheduled and people not showing up. Sometimes the agent isn't showing up and sometimes the buyer isn't showing up. So it's really interesting that I'm seeing this happening a lot now. It's been happening in, like, one of my friends. She's come on our show a couple times when I used to do Clubhouse through here. Megan Gardner in Long Island, and she was on a rampage one day. She was so upset because 3 appointments she went to didn't show up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, but
did she get to the bottom of it?
Yeah, it was this. Oh. People went online. They think that they're scheduling the appointment with the listing agent, and it's going into wherever. Now, I think that there are some instances where it does work, but I do think, I was talking to somebody the other day. She was looking at one of my other properties, and she went, saw the property, met with the buyer, everything worked out smoothly. Saw the buyer. They wanted to have another appointment, went and had another appointment with them, and she was really gung-ho about this house, and she was going to be putting in an offer. And I was like, all right, great. Talked to the agent yesterday. I was like, hey, just following up, just wanted to see what their thoughts were on this. And she's like, she ghosted me. She's not returning my phone calls.
She's got other representation.
Maybe. I have no idea. So, I mean, that's the thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, as a buyer, I would never want to be considered a lead. I'd want to be considered a client.
Yeah.
And in order to be considered a client, you have to have a relationship with an agent. So it's the clicking away. Yeah, you probably will get somebody, and yeah, they could show you the property, and yeah, they don't know much about it, and they could figure it out. But, if they're a seasoned agent, but a lot of the times you don't get a seasoned agent. Mm-hmm. You get somebody who is, might
a round robin lead generator.
Yeah. And then you just become a lead. And, like I said, as somebody who has been through this process, although I did represent myself, mm-hmm. I would want representation and to be known as somebody's client, not as somebody's lead that they're just showing a house to, mm-hmm. This is the most important decision. One of the most important financial decisions that you make mm-hmm. in your life is purchasing a home. And I would want somebody by my side during that.
To tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
To get to have those difficult conversations with you. To all our WATD listeners, you are listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable. We are live this morning, also online. So hello to everybody who's watching online. If you have any questions or comments about this topic, feel free to call Tim at the studio, and he will get you right over to us in our home studio here located in Pembroke Center, 781-837-4900, 781-837-4900. And if you're too bashful to talk to us, you can always text that number as well and ask your question there or make your comment. And I do want to be very clear. I'm not saying that these sites aren't great to get the information that you want. I just want you to also know that don't waste your time going to 7 different sites.
Yeah.
Those sites are pulling from MLS. Me as an agent, when I get a new listing, I enter it into MLS PIN. From there, it's syndicated to all of these websites. So nobody has different information. The only person who has more information, or insider information, if you want to call it, that is the listing agent. Mm-hmm. Because I am the one that's talking to the seller. Nobody can sell a house like a listing agent can. I'm the one talking to the seller. I know why he replaced the heating system only after owning the house for 2 years.
Yeah.
Right? There wasn't a problem. He just wanted an updated system.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. For just getting back to sort of the agent not knowing the property, I mean, it could hurt you as a buyer, because take your story for an example. So you called that agent, you wanted to let them know about a price reduction. Mm-hmm. If somebody didn't take the time to have that conversation, that agent wouldn't know of a price reduction. Mm-hmm. So they show up, they show the house. Oh, it's just a little out of our price range, and then the next day you do a price reduction, but you didn't ask the question. Mm-hmm. They might not know about offer deadlines because, again, they haven't asked the question.
And that's frustrating. You went through that. Sometimes people are like, the seller reserves the right. Yeah, reserves the right to accept an offer at any time. And I think that that's great. That just means we're not putting a deadline on it. You either are or you're not.
Yeah, I did not like that. As a buyer, I did not like the whole, I get it. And they do have the right to accept an offer at any time, but it just didn't make it fair to, I don't know, somebody who might not have to work on a Friday morning and can get into a property, but some people usually have to work in order to afford a house. So for some people who might not be able to sneak away for a showing that might take an hour to get there, see the house, go back to work, okay, I'll go to the open house, but it could be gone by then. Mm-hmm. So, when I was going through the buying process, I really did like offer deadlines, because I felt like I really always put my best foot forward. Mm-hmm. Whereas, and if I just threw in an offer at any point, like I might not have, like if I was just like, oh, it's sort of open ended, like let's see how this one works. If it doesn't, if they continue to go through their open houses and stuff like that, I would know, like, okay, it's not good enough. So let me put in another offer or something. But for the offer deadlines, I liked them as a buyer, because it really made me think, like, okay, got to put my best foot forward. I'm going to have some competition here. Hopefully,
and it also gave you time to think.
Yeah.
That's why.
And have a conversation with Jasmine.
Yeah.
And have a conversation with everybody who came to the house that I was looking at. So whether it was you or Mary, Mark, Kristen, Matt showed up to a house before, just having those conversations.
It might have been the snake house, because I refused to go in it.
Yeah, only Mark came with me to the snake house, but Kristen showed it. Kristen showed it to one of her clients who was in the same price range as me. And so I was grateful to have those conversations and be able to think it through for more than a half hour.
And too, as a listing agent, I want that for the buyers. For the most part, when we were going through that, I have all these offers, like I felt bad for the buyers. Yeah. I want them to have time. My thing when I was doing open houses and people are like, all right, when offers due, I was like, I want you to relax.
Yeah.
The offers are going to be due on Monday by 2.
You're like, namaste.
Yeah. Like,
light a candle.
Yes, exactly. Put your fingers together like
and
this.
Everyone thought that they were special, but you were like that with everyone.
Yeah. And then I just said, we have, Monday at 2, you have time to think about this. You have time to come back. You have time. I promise you, we are not going to accept a bully offer beforehand. And, the thing with the bully offers are, hey, if you're going to be that much of a bully, that means you're sort of a pain in the neck anyways.
Yeah.
So, like, you're just going to, be a pain in the neck. If you want the house that bad, you'll wait with everybody else. Just put your best foot forward. So
I tried a bully offer and I didn't get accepted.
Yeah. I tried one with Mackenzie in Dallas, and it didn't work. So
it didn't work. So it doesn't always work. Sometimes it's, and in my case, sometimes it's not the money. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's your contingencies. So that worked in my advantage. But just getting back to the whole offer deadline thing. So, if you're clicking away and you get a random agent, they're not familiar with the property and they don't take the time to find out the information, they might not know. Because I think that brand new properties or properties that have been on for like 1 or 2 days probably get the most traction on these sites. Yeah. So a lot of different agents are getting these quotes leads.
And that's the thing. If you're pushing buttons, I've seen it happen. I mean, with Stonebridge Homes, they have, they purchase like a contractor's whatever through Zillow. And actually, we haven't really gotten anything, but they'll send the leads to us if somebody goes to their website or something like that. And I'll look at the name. And then I was like, okay, this person was also on our website and sent us something. This person was also on homes.com and sent an email that way. This person was also on realtor.com and sent us a message that way. Like when you're clicking to all these different places, all you're doing is mucking it up a little bit because it's the same exact information. And if you're trying to get the best information on every site, it's part of the MLS rules. You can scroll all the way down on the page and you will find who the listing agent is.
Yeah. And honestly,
then Google it.
Do you really want all these people calling you? Who answers their phones? I answer the phone of people that I know is calling me, but if I don't know the number, and now the iPhone, they'll if they have a caller ID, you'll see the name, and sometimes especially when I was helping you and Mary out, if people were calling and I was on your MLS listings and stuff like that, if people were calling me, I would know, okay, this is an agent. They're probably calling about, new construction or something, whatever. So I would answer the phone. But all these, toll-free, spam detected, I'm not answering the phone.
Now they have the phone, they have your area code.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, now they have the area code. So I'm somebody from Canton is, the other day, I was and of course we're looking at wedding venues and stuff. So I'm getting phone calls from people that I've inquired, but I'm I didn't look in Canton. I don't know anybody from Canton. I'm I'm not answering this phone. And they didn't leave a message. So I'm you were a spammer.
Yeah. I hate spammers. And that's what's going to happen when you're called clickbait, by the way, in the back end of all of these things. One of the things you were talking about earlier was you said, I don't want to be considered a lead.
Yeah.
I want
to be considered a client.
A client. And
then a friend.
Yeah, exactly.
And then a family member.
You know what? And that's exactly how it happens in our relationships. To us, it's all about the communication and everything. But when you said that, I was we are consultants. We are advisors. Mm-hmm. There are times when I'm working for a seller that I'm I don't think you should sell your house. I think you should stay right where you are. Yeah. If I'm working as a buyer's agent, I'll say, I just don't think that this is the one. Mm-hmm. I need you to relax a little bit. I just don't think that this is the one. And this is the reason why. But you want the person who is going to sit down. And our agents at Boston Connect Real Estate, and yes, I am going to toot our own horn. It's toot. My radio show, and it's us on, social media everywhere, that we have really, really great agents here who don't treat their clients like a lead or oh my gosh. I have somebody right now, I'm sorry. I didn't want to bother you. I'm sorry. Don't apologize. This is what our job is. We get paid very well to do what we do, and that is to represent you.
Yeah.
So I just think, having a consultant, and one of the things I love, and we did a workshop here at the office one time, and I think you had the young professionals, actually, they did it there where, all right, everybody work on your buyer representation.
Yeah.
Presentation.
Buyer representation.
And so if you have somebody who is just, you're online, you click a button, you get a phone call, and they're like, oh, yeah, sure, I'll meet you down at the house. Mm-hmm. And that's the first time you meet them is at that door. I'm letting you know, beware.
They should have been standing there with their papers in hand.
First of all,
and pen.
Yeah, they should have paper
You'd be
with
signing
them.
It on the hood of your car.
100%. And the other thing is they should be having a conversation with you. Hi, like, my name is Sharon. This is what I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you know, are you pre-approved? Do you need a good loan officer?
These are all questions that probably somebody who just wants to show you the property is not going to ask you.
Yeah. They're like, oh, you're out there clicking away. I'm going to go down there and meet you.
Yeah.
Right? So you want and have an in-person meeting. Kristen does them all the time in here, right? She likes to do them in the office.
Matt, I think, has 2 next week, and then another one the week after.
Let me help you understand this process. I am a consultant. I am an advisor. I am here to support you through this process. And I think that is the important thing is, okay, you're a brand new first-time home buyer. You don't know the process. Let's sit down and have a discussion about it. You haven't bought a house in 20 years. Let's sit down and I'll tell you what's changed.
Yeah. Well, I just think of it as, okay, there is probably a misconception that car salesmen have this sort of, oh, I'm just looking to sell the car. I do know one car salesman. He's a lovely person.
One of my clients is a car salesman.
Yes. Oh, yeah. He even looked at my old car one time to see how much I could get for it. At the old office. Are we thinking about the same person?
Probably not.
Oh.
He worked for Mercedes?
Yeah, I think he came to the office. Yeah, he came
good.
to the office. He just was like, "Oh, I'll just tell you how much you could get for it." Yeah. But where was I going with that? Oh, so where was I going with that?
That used car salesman mentality, and we do the buyer agency representation presentations and let our buyers know exactly where they are. Okay, so while you're thinking of it, and skip ahead. So I had somebody who was referred to me, and she was a first-time home buyer. She was actually in the same grade as Mackenzie. I helped her mom and dad sell a house and helped the mom buy a house, and I was set up a first-time home buyer presentation to meet her and her boyfriend at the office. I was so sick. And I remember because Mark that night had a family function, so it must have been near the holidays last year. He was going out with like his brothers and sisters and sister-in-law. Everybody was getting together, and I couldn't go. And I remember being home, sitting on the chair, just really sick. And I called Kristen and I was like, I don't want to blow them off. Can I refer her to you? Because, you know, they're very eager to get this process started. So I referred one of my clients to Kristen, and she met with them. She was prepared. She already had her first time buyer presentation together. She taught them. But then where the friend part comes in is we had the ice cream social this year, and there was, you know, Megan was out there with her boyfriend, you know, so excited in their new home, all these things, you know. So that's what it is supposed to be about. It isn't supposed to us, it's not a transaction unless you are an investor.
Exactly. Unless you really are just about the number. Yeah. It's not personal to you. It's not emotional to you.
And when you're working with investors, as Sam Horton does a lot, is that trust level is different. It isn't that it's just a transaction and you don't really care, like, hey, do the deal or you don't. But their specialty is, this is why I think that this is the one that works for you. All the emotions are out, right? This is your ROI. This is what you can expect. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then it's just, with us, it's more the massaging and being there, not having our clients feel rushed. Yeah. You know? Yeah.
It's the relationship.
Yeah. I see Dee is watching Ginny Wandell.
Ginny Wandell.
Hi, Ginny. And yeah, Ginny is great at doing this. Ginny's in here all the time with first-time home buyers. And she has a great presentation, and she's always there 100%. Of course, if you don't know Ginny Wandell, she's a full-time real estate agent here at Boston Connect Real Estate. She's been with us right from this very beginning.
She's in the office a lot, so if you ever stop by,
she's here. Absolutely. Yep. She recently had a booth over at the community center at the Arts Festival. And
she started. Her and I set that up 3 weeks ago. And then I know Connor Sullivan, who is also a full-time realtor here at Boston Connect Real Estate, working alongside Sam Horton with some of his properties, and Sue Bollinger, who will be on the show with me next Saturday, did the Pembroke Arts Festival too. So I did a post about that as well on our social media, so take a look at one of our booths. The bags were a big hit. We had some swag. We set it all up and everything. And before it even started, people were coming by and was like, "Can I have a bag? Can I have a bag?" To the point where I was like, I might have to go back and get more bags.
Which ones were they? The canvas ones?
Well, we have the backpack ones that have the string. So I did quite a few of those, and those all went.
Nice.
And then there were a couple of the bags that had the plastic thing in the bottom.
Yeah. If Ginny has everyone's email addresses, then you know what they should do? Take a picture with your swag.
Yeah.
And we'll have a little contest. Maybe give away a gift card or something.
Yeah. So, they came back with very little swag. So it was good. But yeah, they had a good time.
That's awesome. Thanks for watching, Ginny. And she said, meeting together in here, concerns and addresses needs and wants, best foundation. So it is. It's where you start, And here's the thing. It's like, I just want to go see the house. Like, can't I just go and see the house? I just want to go to see the house. Now, I'm getting a lot of information and seeing it through the eyes and the lens of Mackenzie in Dallas. It's so interesting because her and Ethan are going to look at 3 houses today. And I was like, oh, they have open houses. She's like, no, they don't. Isn't that ridiculous? She goes, I feel like I have to bother my agent. And I was like, first of all,
You're not bothering.
You're not bothering.
She gets paid for that.
And that's what she's going to get paid for. I was like, and she goes, well, don't you think that anyone who puts a house on the market like that weekend, they should have an open house? Oh, yeah, I guess they should actually, because then it's going to stop a lot of this. Let me push this button. Let me push that button.
It's interesting that that's not sort of normal for them to have an open house. So she had to schedule private showings?
Three houses that came on the market this week. All private showings today. Yeah.
Well, hopefully, she likes one of them. Yeah. Or all 3.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like me and Mark will be flying to Dallas to do home inspections.
Yeah.
Well, because she wants our advice, One of the things, too, that is on your talking points here was when you are working with a buyer's agent, that's your consultant, that's your advisor. Like, these are the words that Ginny is using, too, right? Like, she wants to hear your concerns. That's what advocacy is, and making sure. The other thing is once we know what you're looking for and a house comes on the market, this happened to me this week. And I was working with a client and I said, hey, did you see this one? Did you see this one? Mm-hmm. And then I was like, he's like, oh, can you get us into this other one too? And I was like, I said, I want you to do a street view of that before I set up the appointment. I said, have you done that yet? And he's like, no. And I was like, well, I have. I've also driven by the property because I saw it come on the market. And I was like, oh, that might be a good fit for them. And this is what I'm doing in the background that you don't know about while you're sitting at your job, right? Yeah. So he's like, oh, ouch. It's like almost sitting on the yellow line. I was like, yeah, I mean, being on a busy street in your price range isn't out of the norm, but sitting on the yellow line on a busy street, that's different. Like, you're so close.
Well, that's why it's so important to, do a drive-by or something like that, because pictures can be deceiving, using Google Maps or something like that. But even that, like, sometimes it's not updated enough. So, like, there might be construction going on across it. Like, there might be something being built across the street or next door or something, and it just doesn't show up. So always, doing a little drive-by is important. But everything, the internet can be deceiving, like I said, and we were talking about these third-party sites pulling from MLS, but it doesn't pull everything. It doesn't pull
disclosures.
your disclosures or these firm remarks that are like,
attachments.
There's assessments when it comes to, condos or anything like that. Like, it doesn't pull that information. That's why you have to ask the question.
Mm-hmm. The other thing I just looked at the clock and said that can't be right.
Yeah.
But one of the other things, there's other sites too that I just want you to be aware of. Again, this isn't to disparage any of these other companies. If this is what's most important to you, then hey, go for it. But there are some companies out there, again, getting the same information from MLS that we're putting in there as the listing agent. Again, to get to the listing agent, whether it's, hey, if you don't want to work with the listing agent because a buyer agent, because of dual agency, that's okay. But you can talk to the buyer's agent. The listing agent can refer you to an agent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and at least you're getting the information that you want and the questions are being asked. The other thing too is like with communication and dialogue and how things are being translated to you. Like, it's just, there's so many important pieces of it. But there are other sites out there that are like, if you use one of our agents, you will get a discount. We will give you a percentage off. We will give you a flat fee off. And people, you get what you pay for. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But if I'm willing to give up compensation right from the beginning and I haven't even met you or know the house that you're doing, how long I'm going to be working for you?
Yeah.
What? That shouldn't be what's most important to you. Saving $1,000, saving $2,000, saving even $5,000. At the end of the day, it could cost you tens of thousands of dollars because you don't have the right representation.
You do not.
So don't be brought into or pulled in to the clickbait of, oh, use one of our agents and this is what you'll get.
Yeah. Only about 2 minutes left.
Wow.
Any final thoughts? We do have a couple open houses.
Yeah, so just final thoughts are, again, I only brought this up for our listeners today because I'm seeing it more and more, and I think that our buyers, and here's the thing, if you are a buyer and you do have buyer agency agreement with someone, an exclusive buyer agency agreement, and you feel the need to just click and click and click and click because you're not hearing from your buyer's agent, it's time to cancel that contract.
Yeah.
Cancel the contract. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. If I am hiring you, and ask this question, how many buyers are you working with right now? Because I don't know how anybody would work with more than 5 people at one time. How would you?
It just gave me anxiety.
Yeah, you couldn't. And one of the questions I asked Mackenzie was putting an offer in on something. Her agent sort of slipped up with me. Not lucky for her that I'm an agent. And she was like, oh, I'm bringing one of my other buyers there today.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, that's very interesting. How are you going to handle that situation? She's like,
if they both want to put in an offer.
And she goes, well, what do you mean? I go, what if they both want to? Okay, here are the open houses. Go.
Sue Bollinger has a new listing, 30 Oscar Ave in Brockton. She's going to be there from 12 to 2 today. That is on the market for $425. Cute as a button. Kristen is going to be at 221 Oak Street, number 18-24 in Brockton as well today from 10 to 11:30. That is on the market for $299.9. The Grady team will be at 20 Acorn Lane in Pembroke tomorrow from 11 to 1. That is on for $899.9. And of course, every Saturday and Sunday, Cushing Trails in Hanson from 10 to 12, and Cochise Estates in West Bridgewater from 10 to 12 as well.
Perfect. Yes, and Kristen will be doing that, and Faith and Sue, and everybody will be helping out. Of course, Mary will be there. If you have any questions, go to bostonconnect.com. You'll be able to find all of our information and all of our listings, and you'll also be able to see other listings. So if you want really, good buyer's agents to represent you, you'll find them right on our website, bostonconnect.com, and go to Talk Real Estate Roundtable to find all of our past shows and watch us here on YouTube and all the other great places. Thanks, Mel. It was fun being back.
Fun being back.
Bye, Tim. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine?